Hello everyone, good evening guys. Welcome to another Sunday share with me, Havali. That's me. I almost missed our appointment. If you don't see me come on a live on Sundays at 6 p.m., please, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's 7 p.m. Central Time, which is the same time in Jamaica. Guys, if you don't see me come on here by 6 o'clock, please send out the search party. I almost missed the boat because for some strange reason, I logged out of my Instagram account. And then I tried to log in just now and it's asking me for a WhatsApp code. And I'm like, what's up with that? I've never had to use a WhatsApp code before. So not only is the algorithm changing, but a lot of things are changing. So I just got in the nick of time. So again, good evening. Welcome. If we've never met before, my name is Havali and I am from the beautiful island of Jamaica, and I live here in Edmonton, Canada. And I see I have my first set of audience joining. Hi guys, good evening, welcome. I hope you're having a great Sunday. Hello nephew, my nephew is on the live. One of my biggest supporters, one of my biggest cheerleaders. So let me turn this off. How are you guys doing? Let me see. How are you doing? How are you doing? You can just type it in the chat. How are you feeling today? As you can tell, I'm feeling myself just a little bit. It's just one of those days when I get up and you're just like, "Ugh, outside look a little bit too gloomy for me. Let me just spruce up and spice up and, come in front of the camera." And when you just put on your red lip, you kind of feel in yourself, you kind of have a little Rihanna vibe, a little Rihanna mood. Guys, if you don't know, that I'm no longer a big dancer, but I was the child, not the child. Yes, I was the child who was always dancing. I actually wanted to be a dancer. But I was that student in pharmacy school who went around to barn the week of study week and got to 2 parties back to back. Me and my friend Offie. Me and Offie went to party the week of study. That's the same week we have with pharmaceutics lab. Don't get it twisted, not because I come on here and no, I'm the kind of student who will carry you go around a barn, go to wifey white and matey black something, dress in full suit of black, even though we need of the two. And yeah, it was a vibe. And then, for some reason, you get into this pharmacy profession and you have to be prim and proper and you're wearing your white coat and you have to filter your lines, although I still don't have much filter. But you have to filter a lot of things. So yeah, don't get it twisted. Today I'm just feeling myself just a little bit. But guys, today what I'm going to talk to you about is something that I've been talking about for a little bit, but I'm just going to elaborate on it just some more so I give more perspective and so that people understand if they want to do this thing, the urgency behind it. I'm kind of adjusting my tripod stand here because I'm a tall girl and it feels a little too low. Yeah, hi Karine. So let me see in the chat how you guys are feeling. I'm being joined by more and more people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As I said before, if you don't see me come on here by 6, send out the search party. And nephew, I'm tasking you with this. If you don't see me come on live, well, you're not always here anyway, so. But please, on a Sunday, give your auntie a call. So today what I want to share with you is what I've been talking about for a while. There are changes coming to the express entry system. How many people know about the changes that major changes are coming to express entry? If you know there are major changes coming to express entry, put the word change in the chat. And I'm going to tell you what some of those changes entail. I'm obviously not an encyclopedia, and with age come replacement theory. We learned it in psychology about replacement theory. When you learn something new, you replace all information, but sometimes it also takes some time for you to integrate and assimilate new information. And this is, even though it's not new, it's something that I don't walk around with in my head because my brain don't have space for it. Okay, she said change. What change do you know about, Karine? Tell me, what change are you anticipating? The one I'm about to talk about specifically relates to how they'll select candidates. Hi, Miss Catania. Welcome to the live. Welcome again. If you know, you know. Welcome. Okay, so there has been some changes I've been talking about, you know, like the government, like in Parliament, they had made a proposed amendment to the express entry system. I don't know, for some reason. Yeah, they made some proposed amendments, but it has been passed. Since June 23rd, it has been passed. So right now, they have like this real technical term for it. So Bill C-19, and you can go and look up Bill C-19, or you can go on the Government of Canada website and you get all of this information. So Bill C-19, it gained what's called a royal assent. So it has been passed. And this basically means that it is now in its final stages of, well, of becoming law. So once this has passed the final hurdle, then the changes will be implemented inmediatamente. That means immediately in Spanish. For you, all of you don't know, I was a Spanish girl. So this change to Bill C-19 is expected to impact how express entry is done. And based on what I have researched, it's not going to be a complete replacement of the current system. It's going to be complementary. So what Bill C-19 does, it allows the Minister of Immigration, who's currently the Immigration Minister, Sean Fraser, he will be able to go in the express entry pool, which is the group of applicants that are eligible for Canadian residence, and he will handpick those people who will get through. So it's not going to be a matter of who is at the top of the scale, because you know they do it in different cohorts or different categories or different sections based on the amount of points that you've accumulated. And so express entry is kind of like a lottery. That's the program. That's the program I applied through, and I got selected, and I got an invitation to apply for my Canadian residency back in 2019. So basically what happened was they would use your work experience, your age, your language proficiency, and your, I always keep forgetting one, your language proficiency, your education, your age, your education, how fluent you are in either English or French or both, and your work experience. Now, with the current system, it's like you can literally age out of express entry. Once you get to age 44, you can just forget about it, because the minute you reach 45, you're not eligible. I'm not saying this to say that a 44-year-old is not able to put an application forward, because based on their lucky stars, they could put in that application and they get selected because a province needs the skills that they have, and they get like a provincial nomination, which gives them more points, and then they will get automatic selection because then they have more points than those people at the top of the scale of the pool. Sorry. So hi guys, I'm getting more people. Thank you for joining in. Welcome. So I was explaining that, yeah, once you reach a certain age, you can just kiss express entry bye-bye. But with the proposed amendment, like someone who could have all these skills that are needed in Canada. Hi Trudy. Trudy's my VIP. Welcome Trudy. Trudy's on every live. I love the support. Thank you. So someone could be a particular age, but they have a rich background. They have a rich, when I say rich, I don't mean money. Your experience, you're rich in experience, you're bringing value, you're going to be adding value to the Canadian economy. But of course, we know they want the young workhorses too. So I think that is one of the reasons why express entry currently is in favor of younger people, and the fact that Canada is still grossly underpopulated and they need more people to come and populate. And the more people come, the population still remains low. Hint, hint. So currently, if you're between ages 22 to 29, that's where you get the highest points for age. And guys, please pardon me. I don't know, I sound like a frog croaking at some point or another. I feel like my voice is changing. And again, I think that's related to COVID. For some reason, because I came here and never got sick, I never got a cough, I never got a sneeze, I never got a flu, nothing. And then suddenly, so pardon me. So yeah, currently ages 22 to 29 gets the highest point. The minute you hit age 30, you start losing points for age. Now with the new system, It's all hurrah. We can celebrate for all those people passing age 30, going up to 40 and even 45. Because if you have a skill that's in demand, like I know that for a fact, healthcare workers are always going to be in demand. Sickness does not give holiday. Sickness does not give holiday. So healthcare workers will always be in demand. So if you're a healthcare worker and they say you were hitting 45, or you've been working in clinical pharmacy or whatever industry for a long time, you have a great work history. The greater number of years that you're working, I think that is more in your favor, because if you have just like a year of work experience, that's the minimum requirement. But if you have a year of work experience and your peer with a similar age, or even 2 years older, but they're still in that 22 to 29 age cohort, they have 3, 4, 5 years experience, they will get more points for their employment history versus someone who just has 1 single year of experience, even though that's the minimum. And you could get maximum points for age, but you're losing out on work experience. With the new express entry proposal by the minister under Bill C-19, they could literally go in the pool and say, hey, this person has the educational background, they have, the college or the university degree, and they are young and willing and ready to work and contribute to the Canadian economy, and they are fluent in English, or they're fluent in French, or both. They could just go in the pool and just select you, even though you have lower scores than some other people in the pool. Of course, they're going to be using, why are you crying? Or is it a case where you have 1 year of work experience? Never mind, just know that the time is going to pass anyway, and that the number of years experience you have will accumulate. But for those people who reach age 34 and going on 40, like, they're getting older and they're losing points for that. So you're coming, you're not going, you're coming. It's the people who are going, kind of in a little bit of trouble, but now there is some hope. There is a ray of sunshine there for them. So I'm really happy for those people who, yes, truly, I agree, this is nice. I mean, some people might feel a little despondent about it, like, oh, with the changes that are coming, it's going to affect me negatively. I actually think the changes coming is a good thing, because now it's going to kind of level the playing field. But of course, there are going to be selection biases. I absolutely believe there will be selection biases, because it's going to be, okay, you're a healthcare worker, you might get preference over somebody who is in education or somebody who is in accounting, because guess what? You really can keep the books from anywhere, but you cannot stay anywhere, administer the medication or give the injection or the vaccine or whatever. So the playing field is still not going to be level, but it's going to be complementary. At least they're not cutting out the system that is currently in place. So those people who meet all the current requirements of age, education, language proficiency, and their employment history, and if you have a relative in Canada, you get more points for that. And if you even don't meet all of those criteria and at the top of the ranking, you could be in the pool and some employer just like your profile and they say, hey, I'd like you to come work for us. And you get 600 points for just being offered an intent for employment. If you get an employment offer, job offer, which again, I'm going to reiterate, it is not the same as a work permit. A work permit is a temporary thing. If you meet the requirements for permanent residence, I don't recommend that you go and get a work permit, because most of those work permits or those positions, you have to get what is called an LMIA, which is a labor market impact assessment, which the employer has to do. And what a lot of employers do is that when they do the LMIA, which is costly, they have to pay the government for that. They want to lock you into a closed work permit. So it means that when you come, you have to work with them. What if you come and you're not pleased with the working condition? What if you come and you find out that your colleagues or your peers working a similar position, they're getting better salaries, better benefits, and you decide that you want to jump ship? If you're on a closed work permit, you cannot leave the employer. You're going to go back home. Of course, with a work permit, there are workarounds. There are over 80 or over 100 streams to move here, but they're not as straightforward and they're not as efficient as the express entry system. So that is absolute great news. Hi Craig, welcome to my live. So I was explaining that with this bill C-19, and you can look it up, the limitations of express entry right now, it's going to ensure that the system is more responsive to the immediate and crucial labor market requirements of Canada. Because guess what they said? Like, unemployment is at a 5.1%. Historically, it's considered low, but Canada is in dire need of skilled workers. If you're a skilled worker, you stand a chance, but you will not be selected if your profile is not in the pool, and you need to do all the things that you need to do to get your profile in. If your profile is not in, you really don't stand a chance of being selected and issued an invitation to apply. So I talked about the tie-break rule and how that works. If John and Jane submitted their profile on the same day, but John submitted his at 12 noon and Jane submitted hers at 12 noon and 2 seconds later, and there is a minimum CRS score for whatever reason, and there's a tie break at that minimum score, John is going to get preference and he'll be the selected candidate, and Jane will just have to wait in the pool until her luck come around again. So the important thing is to get started. It's not just, oh, I'm going to put my profile in the express entry pool. There are some prerequisites. There are some things that you have to do prior to submitting that application. So get your profiles done so that you can be in the running. And here's a typical example of why it's important for you to be prepared. There was a draw in February of 2021 where 27,000 people were issued an invitation to apply. Even the person with the lowest score, the lowest point standing for that person was 75 points. All of those people, of course, they were in Canada. There were no, planes were not going and coming as usual. There was a lockdown, so people were not moving trans-border. So what the government did, they decided to give everybody who was already in Canada and qualified because they have Canadian work experience or Canadian education, they gave in one single draw. That is a historic draw. They've never had anything like that before. I doubt anything like that is going to come anytime soon. But they issued an invitation, 27,000. Just do a comparison, a relative comparison. Last week, there was a draw. 1,750 people got selected. The week before, not the week before, 2 weeks before, it was like 1,500 people got selected. So over a 2 weeks period, there were 3,000 people. In one single draw, 27,000 people, over 27,000 people got selected. And even the person with like a dim ray of hope, they got selected, and they only got through because they were in the pool. Now, if that person told themselves, I don't meet all the requirements, I don't yet have enough points, and they didn't submit their profile, they would have lost out on a great opportunity to that. So it's important for you to stay ready. Get ready and stay ready, because you don't know which card. Like, this government is full of surprises. In April 2020, when the lockdown came, there were people here as temporary resident. They came on a visitor's visa because express entry was paused and people were not going and coming as usual. The government just created this thing where people were here as visitors as long as they got somebody to give them a job offer, they were able to apply for their permanent residence. It happens. Sometimes last year, they opened up a new stream called the TR to PR pathway. It was just a one-off situation where people who were here temporarily on work permit or whatever the case is, they were able to apply for their permanent residence. Suffice to say, those people are still awaiting a response from the government, but at least the opportunity came. They were ready. They submitted their documentation, and now they're just awaiting a response. And likely they're going to get through because they're already here. They've established themselves in either their jobs or in school or whatever the case is. So, and that was just a single situation. They have plans to create a more permanent route similar to the TR to PR pathway. But the whole point I'm trying to bring across is that it's better for you to stay ready. Get ready and stay ready. So when the opportunity comes, you grab and you go, because these opportunities don't always come around. It's not always revolving. Like, for example, I have a friend who got selected, got an invitation to apply for PR in 2019. And my friend did not submit her documentation within the 60 days. And then she went back in the pool, and then they selected her again. And then COVID came. I'm not sure if she's here or she's still in her country, but COVID came and she stayed in the pool for a long time, and her medical expired, and they say, hey, you have to pay to do the medical again. I remember when I did the medical, I probably paid anywhere between 10 to 15,000 Jamaican dollars, and that was 3 years ago, almost. So just imagine you're waiting. The opportunity doesn't always come around, and if it does come around, it's not the same opportunity. It's not the same opportunity. And yes, we know people will say, oh, it will happen when it's supposed to happen, and you'll get there when it's God's timing. God already laid it in your heart. You just need to be proactive and take action. So that's my 2 cents. Get ready and stay ready. So I am excited about the changes. I don't know about you if you are excited about it, but I'm excited about it because it will give those people who so desire to move here, but they're already aging out. Those people who have the skills that are needed and in demand, because trust me, there are a lot of jobs here. The government advertised a couple weeks ago that there were over a million posts for employment. But again, there are things that you on the outside don't necessarily know, because you know that based on your geographical location, that the news or the algorithm from the computer or the internet will send you things. If you're in New York, it's going to tell you what's happening in New York State before it tells you what's happening in Alabama, before it even come over Canada. So there are a lot of things that are filtered. There are a lot of things that are not highlighted in the media. They're like, oh, in Canada, nothing is perfect here, but I can tell you that I feel like I'm in a better place. I'm in a better space than I was before, but nothing is perfect. Opportunities are there, but you have to be smart about it. Like, for example, you do not want to get locked into a closed work permit. You want to get like an open work permit if that is your desire. Get an open work permit so that if your employer is not behaving correctly, like they are like a lot of us are gross under earners. Let's just start there. And so you're like, oh yeah, $20 per hour is chicken feed in my estimation. But for somebody, it's like the best thing. But you get $20 and you could be getting $25 or $30 next door. Why? And better conditions. Why wouldn't you want that? Why wouldn't you want better for yourself? But if you're locked into a closed work permit, you can't just jump ship. You're gonna jump the ship, is the ship back home. So if you have the option as an educated professional, Canada just love educated people. They just love on us. The minister said recently that he doesn't think it's in the country's best interest to give all those people coming as temporary residents here, like people who come and pick fruits on the farm. Yes, they too deserve an opportunity to be here. But the fact of the matter is most of them are being used because people here are very bougie. They're not going to go on the farm to pick their own fruit. They want somebody to pick it and wash it and peel it. Because you'll go in the supermarket and see the broccoli already cut. The fruits and veggies already cut in your plate, and you just pick it up and go. They're very bougie, so they're not going to go and pick these things. So people come and like, oh, and they want to come here. The minister was like, no, I'm so sorry. I don't think we're getting creme de la creme. That's not the best there is out there. We want the best. Send the best over. We want the best doctors, the best lawyers, the best teachers. We want the best pharmacists, the best scientists, the best engineer. They want the best of the best. And then they'll take others and say, we want you to get the best education in our education system. So again, I know I digress, but I'm just trying to bring across a point. If you're already eligible, I'm working with a client. She's a pharmacist. She came here as a student. She's like, The reason I came here as a student is because I didn't know better. I did not know better. I didn't know where you were. I didn't know you. Where were you? She said, like, she came here as a student and paid thousands and thousands of dollars. Guys, I did not pay any. If anything, I want to be a student and the government pay me thousands and thousands of dollars because I paid thousands and thousands of dollars to come here. Just imagine you paid thousands and thousands or millions to go to school. Then you pay thousands and thousands to come to Canada. And then you pay thousands and thousands to go to school here and you still don't have residence. You can't get all the things that I'm entitled to. That makes no sense to me. That sounds like the equation is back way. So I'm excited about Bill C-19. I hope you guys are excited about it too. And this probably will take effect next year, early next year. So I'm looking forward to those changes. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them. I'm going to post this live for those people who missed it. There are people who look forward to these lives. And again, I said, if you don't see me on a Sunday, please send out the search party. I'm trying my best to build this habit, to ingrain it, and to be consistent so that I can give you information that might not be readily available to you. All right. So thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate it. At least I got the opportunity to put on my red lip and to scrub down. All right, guys, thank you so much. And I will see you in the next one. Chances are I will come on here again before next week, Sunday. But if not, I'll see you on the next live on Sunday on the next live. This is another episode of Sunday Share with me, Havilee. Have a good one and have a wonderful and productive week. And I'll see you all. Bye.